Hey, Father Taylor here. Kind of a dreary, gray January 11th. It's Thursday, and this is your weekly eBlast. So I'm glad people were safe last week. It was wild to get snow, actually kind of refreshing. And how cool was it that if you weren't able to come, that you could show up on Zoom or Facebook? We had 49 separate entries or like windows, people who had signed into Zoom, and there were a whole bunch on Facebook. So a lot of folks showing up. Uh, just to remind you, though, nothing can replace community together, which is actually part of the second reading for this Sunday. So anyway, so great. I'm glad that we have the ability to stream. So here's some things that are coming up. This Saturday, it'll be super rainy, but we are going to lunch in the park, doggone it. So if you are brave enough to come down, I invite you to come down. Bill Pascucci and John Corcoran, I think you can contact Bill easier probably, but they're setting up lunches and some people are going down. We'll be underneath the old YMCA building, I'm sure, if it's raining. So that's this Saturday. That service starts at 2. So if you're going down, you want to leave like, 1:30, 1:15 from here, be able to get there and find a parking space. Going to be a lunch in the park kind of day. Okay, then on Sunday, we're back to having breakfast alpha. So a couple of things. First of all, what are we doing this week? You'll remember right before Christmas, all of our fall programming culminated with our confirmation reception and reaffirmation of baptismal vow service we did with the bishop. That's a great liturgical moment. All of our preparation, we're moving toward this. We get prayers for the whole church. We celebrate that. Now what? So I'd like to have everybody who was involved come, and I'd like to hear what you experienced during the service, and I'd also like to be able to talk about some next steps, which are included in actually the fourth question of your baptismal vows. So that's a big deal. So please plan on coming after the 9:15 service. Also remind you that in 2 Sundays, it's going to be Africa Education Partnership Sunday. What does that mean? Well, if you come to the 8 o'clock, you will still get it, whether you go to the 8 or the 9:15 or not. We're inviting all kinds of people. Many of them are clergy, so they're not going to be able to come, but like board members of AEP to come. And so we're going to hear a little bit more about AEP, particularly for those who haven't heard. But the point of this week is to actually get involved. So they're always looking for board members, and that doesn't take up a tremendous amount of time, but it does mean we want your best to come with ideas and follow through. But the second thing is we'll be raising money for scholarships. What you'll hear is about individual kids that we know, that the Shagmans have met, that are part of school already. And what you might not know is that that school provides clothes, it's a uniform, education, clean water. I mean, there's all kinds of benefits and relationships between kids, Christian kids, and Muslim kids. So we think that the school is growing in its overall importance. And so, did you know that $300 sends a kid to school for an entire year and gives them everything soup to nuts that they'll need? If you were going to be giving a scholarship at the college you went to, I can imagine how much that would be. But for $300, you can really change a kid's life, maybe his family. So we have an opportunity to give on that day. You don't have to give $3, which you'll see when you come that Sunday, is you can give whatever you feel like you're capable of giving, $10, $100, $50, $20. You can give that, and we're going to keep giving until we fill up some scholarships. So it's going to be kind of an exciting day. We're looking forward to that. That's in 2 Sundays. The Sunday after that is annual meeting, and it's really important for you to be there. We will have it on a Zoom, but the Zoom will not really be able to see the whole room. You won't be able to hear all the people who ask questions. You won't be able to participate in the discussions as well. So we're really asking you to come for annual meeting. We just had our our budget review. So we had about 20 people come out to that, and we talked about the budget, which is a pretty miraculous story. But there's also some challenges we have. So we want to address those. And we want to talk about that. We also, like last year, want to hear from you, like what's on your heart and mind? What do you think God is saying? So anyway, annual meeting is not just a perfunctory, well, we have to check the box. It's an event in which the community comes together. So I'm asking you to be coming out for that. Finally, I just want to remind you, and I hope you can click the link, but coming up on February 3rd, there's a worship night on February 2nd, but down over in Vavon at Valley Baptist, a bunch of churches, including us, because I was on the planning team, are having a conference that's called Thrive. The original idea behind Thrive was that the purpose of a local church is to help the community around it to thrive. That's what we do. And so there's a variety of events and speakers of different contexts. I think it's going to be really encouraging, and I'm looking forward to it. And this afternoon, I'm getting together again with some folks who are counselors and school principals and people from the senior high and Terrafield Elementary, people from Simsbury school system, to talk about this question. What's changed in the mental health concerns of our kids since COVID? So if you're older and you don't have school age kids, I mean, it's really would be interesting to go because we assume we know what goes on at schools, but kids deal with things very different way than even like 10 years ago. School shootings impact the way kids think about school. Some kids, particularly younger kids, missed a whole 2 years of development because they were at home and not at school. There's been an increase in anxiety and actual, like mental health issues, as well as the general stuff that goes on. So anyway, the question then becomes, what can we do about it? So I'm hoping that discussion, that panel discussion, leads to some good ideas of how we can be more supportive of families. If you don't have school age kids, we can support families who do. So anyway, so that's the events coming up. All right, so take a look. I think everything I just mentioned is below this link down in the overall the text of our eBlast. So God bless you, and hopefully we'll see you this weekend.